Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, we're taking a really hard look at something most of us use literally every single day, but we rarely use it to its full potential. I mean, we're standing at the edge of one of the most profound technological revolutions in human history. Artificial intelligence has leaped right out of science fiction and landed squarely on our laptops and smartphones. But let's be real for a second. Here is the actual reality for a lot of people. The promise of AI doesn't feel liberating, it just feels overwhelming. So today, our goal is to bridge that massive gap between AI's raw capability and your actual everyday needs. By the end of this, I promise you're no longer going to see AI as this glorified, frustrating chatbot, but as a deeply collaborative partner.
So let's just start with the question we can all relate to. Why does using AI feel so frustrating? If you have ever sat there in front of a glowing cursor, completely stressed out, asked an AI for help with a pressing task, and gotten this robotic, super generic response back, believe me, you are not alone. That feeling of cognitive friction, where you're just sitting there thinking, you know what, it would have been faster and way less annoying if I just did it myself. Well, that is completely valid. It's a perfectly normal psychological response, especially when you're already stretched thin. You might be an entrepreneur, a creative, or honestly just a professional trying to write a high-stakes email. The overwhelm isn't because you're failing at technology, it's because the entire human-computer interaction model we're using right now is currently broken.
You see, the friction really comes down to one massive misunderstanding. Treating a reasoning engine like a fetch engine is the root cause of our overwhelm. Think about it. For the last 20 years, we have been trained to talk to computers through search engines. We type in these fragmented little keywords like how to fix a leaky faucet, and the computer fetches an existing document. But AI? AI does not fetch documents. It generates reasoning. The problem is, we're trying to use a completely new paradigm of computing with the deeply ingrained habits of the old one. To fix our relationship with this tech, we kind of have to diagnose our bad habits first. Here are the common AI traps we almost all fall into. First up is the Google search trap. This is giving AI quick, fragmented keywords and expecting it to perfectly synthesize answers instead of actually letting it reason. Next is the mind reader expectation. This happens when we give a one-sentence instruction like, write a blog post about marketing, and we genuinely expect a masterpiece. Without context, the AI just defaults to the most statistically predictable, boring response possible. Then there's the first draft is final fallacy. People accept the very first output, assume it's garbage, and just give up. But AI is iterative. The real magic happens in the follow-up. And finally, context stripping. We completely fail to tell the AI why we are doing something, which basically guarantees a generic outcome.
Okay, so this brings us to the central paradigm shift of this explainer. I want you to meet the AI intern. We need to stop thinking of AI as a magic wand or just some basic software program. Instead, imagine you just hired a highly educated, wildly enthusiastic intern who has read literally every single book in the entire world. I mean, they know everything. But, and this is exactly why AI needs intern roles explicitly assigned to it, this intern has absolutely zero life experience. They will always default to the most generic, average responses because they lack a persona, a worldview, and context about your specific business, your personal values, or the exact goals you're trying to achieve today.
Let's put this in perspective. You wouldn't just walk up to a brand new human intern on their very first day, hand them a laptop and say, make a video, right? If you did, they would totally panic, and the result would be incredibly generic because they don't know your brand, they don't know your audience, and they don't know your style. Yet, that is exactly what we do with AI every single day. You would never give an intern zero context and just walk away. You'd sit them down, explain the background of the project, define their role, set clear goals, and provide examples of what actual success looks like. We have to start treating our AI exactly the same way through a structured onboarding process, which brings us to our ultimate framework.
The Core Onboarding Manual.
So, CORE stands for context, objective, role, and examples. Step 1 is context, the why and who. You absolutely must tell the AI the background of the situation and exactly who your audience is. Step 2 is the objective, the what. Be incredibly specific about format and length here. Don't just say write an essay. Ask for a 700-word opinion piece. Now, step 3 is role, the how. This one is massive, and it's the core reason why AI needs intern roles to function properly. Without a role, AI is just a blank slate. Assigning a persona forces the AI to filter its vast encyclopedic knowledge through a specific perspective and tone. And finally, step 4 is examples, or the flavor. Give it a sample of your past work, or specify the exact emotion you want it to evoke.
Advanced management, real-world delegation.
Now, theory is only useful when we actually apply it, so let's look at a frustrating everyday scenario. The old way of delegating looks kind of like this. Write a script for a YouTube short about technology,
We have all done this, and let's be honest, the result is usually terrible. But using CORE, you tell it, act as a master storyteller. I'm creating a 60-second video explaining AI, targeting India and the USA, structure it with a 3-second visual hook. Do you see the difference there? We assigned it a clear role, we gave it a specific objective, we provided context about a global audience so it avoids using hyperlocal slang, and we asked for a precise structure. This completely eliminates ambiguity.
Let's look at another high-stakes example. The old way, write an email apologizing for a delay. The result of that will almost certainly be a super corporate, groveling, soulless message. But the new way, using CORE, act as a senior account manager known for emotional intelligence, apologizing for a 1-week delay. Tone, radical transparency. And here is the real secret weapon. Constraints. Constraint, do not use the word unprecedented. Because honestly, we've all had enough of that word, right? Telling your AI intern what not to do is sometimes even more powerful than telling it what to do. Adding that specific role and those constraints drastically improves the professional output.
Once you master CORE, you can really start elevating your results using advanced techniques developed by AI researchers that actually tap into the AI's underlying architecture. We have zero-shot prompting, which is great for simple factual tasks without providing examples. Then there's few-shot prompting, where you give 2 to 5 examples to teach the AI your exact desired pattern and your unique brand voice. Chain of thought, which forces multi-stage reasoning. And meta-prompting. This one is fascinating, actually. It's when you ask the AI to write the prompt for you, because you know what you want, but you just don't know quite how to articulate it.
Out of all of these, one of the most powerful things you can do is simply add the phrase, let's think step by step. This is the very core of the chain of thought technique we just talked about. By simply adding this exact phrase to your prompt, you force the AI to break down its reasoning before it generates the final answer. If you are doing complex strategy, math, or logic puzzles, this significantly reduces logical errors. You are effectively slowing your overeager intern down and asking them to show their work.
The human touch.
So as we get highly proficient at managing our new AI intern, a brand new boundary emerges, and it's an important one, the temptation to automate our humanity simply because it's fast. Understanding efficiency versus connection is absolutely key here. If you can generate a perfectly crafted, empathetic text to a grieving friend or a struggling colleague in 5 seconds, well, why wouldn't you do it for every interaction? Because while AI can simulate empathy, it absolutely cannot experience it. If your friend discovers that that beautiful, touching message was written by a machine, it feels like a total betrayal of trust. We must draw a hard line. Tasks that require cognitive heavy lifting, those are for the AI. Tasks requiring genuine human presence, vulnerability, and intention, those must remain strictly yours. Which brings us to a really empowering new reality. Your taste is your superpower. We are entering an era of infinite content, where generating perfectly grammatical text or a solid video script will simply no longer be a valuable skill. AI has completely democratized execution. When the text itself is no longer scarce, what actually matters is your curation. It's your lived experience. It's your unique ability to look at an AI-generated draft and say, you know, this is structurally good, but it's missing soul. Let's tweak this to resonate deeply with the human heart. Your taste is your ultimate competitive advantage. Which leaves us with one final, pretty important question. Will you blindly outsource your mind, or will you step up and lead your new intern? The future doesn't belong to the people who just avoid AI, but it for sure doesn't belong to those who put their thinking on autopilot either. It belongs to the curators, the editors, and the empathetic leaders who know exactly how to fuse the immense processing power of artificial intelligence with the irreplaceable depth of the human spirit. It's time to stop treating AI like a magic search engine, start managing it like the brilliant intern it is, and reclaim your energy for what truly matters.